Hi, I'm Michelle. Welcome.
I feel proud and connected to my work. Every day, your whole world changes, and that's pretty special. Yeah, this is making me emotional.
I am Trent Summer. I am a counselor, and what brought me here, I was doing a practicum. I'm switching to counseling because counseling was helpful to me. I've been an engineer for 20 years. I still am. I make exceptional coffee, and I have a collection of French fry boxes.
So my name is Nikki Harris. I'm a registered provisional psychologist and a certified Canadian counselor. I started my practicum here with Michelle in 2023 and actually came from meeting Michelle through the equine therapy world. So we're continuing that work together.
I'm Brenda. I am one of the staff therapists here. Yeah, my microbiology, I had a really sciencey background and originally wanted to be a doctor, but I kind of followed my passion of becoming a yoga teacher first. And after working with people in that way and getting this one-on-one time with them, I just started to really value sitting with people and listening to them. So that kind of nudged me in this direction of still holding space for people, but getting this more like intimate time with them. There was a lot of focus on mindfulness and trauma-informed practices, and I think that really drew me in because I value those two things a lot, and kind of what I want to do in therapy incorporates mindfulness and having a trauma-focused practice.
So my name is Tara Carbeau. I am a Canadian certified counselor. I changed up careers for sure. I was in marketing and sponsorship in the business world, and it was actually over COVID that I decided to make the switch. I noticed I started reading some therapy books for fun, so that was like, okay, maybe I should, put this to work and realize that I really have a passion for people, their feelings, and just being heard in a world where things felt very isolated, and just really getting to that important stuff, things that truly matter.
Everything in my life was okay until one day it wasn't. And that's when I started seeing a counselor, and it was super helpful. Throughout engineering career, I kept running into other people who were struggling with a lot of the same things that I was struggling with. And a lot of people in my life struggling with a lot of things that could really benefit from counseling. And I just think 100% of people should do this.
Hey, I'm Niv. I'm a registered provisional psychologist. I was a student here for my internship, and then I became home, and I'm here, and I'm working as a virtual therapist now. So I took a course in high school, and I was very inspired through, just our internal patterns and how they show up in daily lives, and that just kind of intrigued me to pursue that interest and then just help people learn more about themselves and why they do what they do and how they show up in everyday life.
Hi, my name is Tracy Bazo-Page, and I'm a counseling therapist here at Michelle Newstetter Counselling. I also come with my service dog, whose name is Kara, or Care Bear. She is a seizure response dog guide, but she's often just seen around chilling at the office. She likes to hang out with people. She loves bum scratches. Throughout my undergrad, I did a lot of crisis and trauma counseling training, and so I knew that was an area that I wanted to continue working in and growing in as well. And there's a couple of things that inspired me to become a therapist. When I was younger, I grew up in the foster system and had some really great therapists that I met with, and I had some really bad therapists that I met with, and I knew that I would want to be one of those people that was actually a really great therapist for people and could build connections with clients and make them feel that this was a normal process to go through, and that it was okay to reach out and get support, and it was okay to not have the answers for everything.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm the executive assistant here at the office. I have worked for Michelle for the last 6 years. I absolutely love my job. When I was 15, I didn't have a job, and Michelle asked me if I was willing to work for her, and so I just said yes. And I fell in love with it, and I fell in love with being a part of people's journeys. So here I still am today. I'm the first face that clients see when they first walk in the office. I enjoy getting to know the clients that walk in and hearing about their weeks and getting to know them and connecting with them, knowing that my work makes an impact on people's weeks, even outside of the office. Even though I'm not a therapist myself, I know that when they leave, they feel better, regardless of if that's something I did or their therapist did. I know that it's making an impact somehow, and that's spreading even outside of the office.
I believe the connections that we build here are just as helpful
in that mental health space as what goes on in the sessions themselves.
I recharge by getting into nature as much as possible. I love hiking and cycling. Nature just grounds me. I also really like slow mornings of drinking coffee and reading my book and taking my dog for a walk.
Movement is part of my day every single day, whether that be HIIT workout, yoga, Pilates, or just a long walk. I also travel for passion. I love discovering new cafes and lots of teas and coffees throughout my day. Yeah, and sweets. Lots of that.
I spend as much time as I can outside. I really enjoy the fresh air, and if I can get myself to a lake or a river, some sort of body of water, that is where I'm happiest. Recharges my soul and my brain. If it's winter, I still have the windows open in my house.
I like to dabble with making really good espresso, and I play video games on Sunday afternoon, and I hang out with my family. Horizon Zero Dawn or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. You bow hunt robotic dinosaurs. As one does. It's a thing. Nikki will talk about it too.
I'm into competitive gaming, and I have competed in one in-person tournament at which I got completely destroyed, but it's fun. I have a few passions kind of in my personal life. I'm a paranormal investigator. I have my own team that I've created. Another passion is 90s JDM car scene, so that's kind of Japanese cars from the 90s. I have a 91 Toyota MR2 that I love very much. The biggest part of my recharging routine is nature. Getting out into nature as much as possible, being around animals, particularly horses. Big recharging activity for me. Driving my car, getting some cruising time, reading, going for walks, and video games sometimes.
Anything outside makes me happy, so going on a run outside, walking my dog. I love food, so I love to cook and enjoy time with my loved ones. I like to sing and play guitar, so any of those things make me pretty happy.
Values that I have in therapy: empathy and compassion and collaboration, and I truly believe that the client already has all of their answers. They just need someone to kind of walk beside them and help them uncover that. I just really value listening to the person and getting to know the person. Really like the intimate time with people and getting to know them on a level that a lot of people don't, and I think it's a huge honor to feel like they trust me enough. And I also really enjoy like seeing their growth and like those aha moments and just kind of like being along for the ride with them. Yeah, it's a true honor.
Generally, I like working with individuals, adults aged around 25 to 45, individuals who have experienced anxiety, trauma, adverse childhood experiences, and low self-worth. I really love working with people who are ready to put in some work and see some changes in their lives, because therapy can be a lot of emotional work, but I think that the benefits that someone can get really outweigh some of those tricky conversations that we might need to have.
Some of the values and principles that guide my work as a therapist, I think first and foremost is empathy and holding space and just sitting with people, kind of witnessing what anybody's going through. Another big one is inclusivity and just leading with curiosity, right? Learning more about each person and, different walks of life and different cultures and all that kind of stuff.
I really like working with those who are impacted and affected by trauma, children and youth. I also like working with people with disabilities of all kinds and medical kind of concerns, queer populations as well, and just acknowledging the different kind of entities that being queer in our population can bring us. I use sign language on a daily basis. I also teach sign language quite a bit. I've been teaching sign language for about 8 years now, so that's kind of one of my other little things I like to do, and I like to make kind of the world more accessible, because I think the more accessible we can make the world, the better off it will be.
My goal is to be as easygoing as possible. I don't have a one-size-fits-all approach. I really like to meet with clients and see what jives with them. I like to use humor, but I also really like to have those tough conversations as well.
So the short answer is obviously to help people. I've always been very passionate about helping people, but the longer answer is really that I wanted to be able to offer the kind of support that I needed and benefited from throughout my own healing journey.
Seeing the change and progress that clients make, how much of a difference coming and doing the work and coming and seeing a counselor actually makes within their life. Sometimes they come in and they don't realize how much of an impact those little T or big T traumas have in their lives. And then when we start working on it, they're like, holy cow, so much has changed in my life now that like I started processing, I've started working through all of these things. Everything from their relationships at work to their relationships with their children or their spouses or their friends, and just recognizing that putting in the work may be hard at times, but it creates such a positive and impactful change within their lives. And for me, that makes all the difference.
I'd say a lot of people feel nervous the first time. Give it a try. My view is I've needed people to teach me every other thing in life. Why would I not need to talk to somebody about how to manage conflict, or how to manage stress, or how to manage anxiety?
My name is Marianne. I am one of the office administrators here, which really means that I kind of do whatever really needs to be done. Most people probably already know this, but my love of my crochet. Oh, one of my lovely creations. Mostly with my connection with the clients, just continuing to create that warm, friendly, loving atmosphere.
I love connecting with people, and I love feeling like the clients feel safe here and look forward to coming.
In this space, it's really special. I'm able to see people for who they truly are and what's really going on with them. We can have those everyday conversations of like, how's the weather? And you know, those light conversations, but I want to know like, who are you on a soul level, and what drives you and what motivates you in life. In terms of what motivates me to keep showing up and doing this work is knowing that I'm able to create a space for people to genuinely feel seen and heard. We live in a world that not everyone has that opportunity, and I would love to be able to provide a space for people to genuinely feel as though they're able to be seen. And it's a little cheesy, but I can't change the world, but I would love to be able to help somebody change their own world.
When clients say like, hey, like I really needed someone to listen and I felt better today, or you know what, I've been looking forward to our appointment for a few weeks and I'm so glad that we've met. Even on hard days, I feel like they remind me of my purpose and kind of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
I actually have a little folder in my email of those emails of people thanking me and just where I feel like I've made an impact and I've helped them in one way or another. Yeah. My little like inspiration folder.
I think not only the connection with my clients, but also seeing them grow and seeing them find their own success. And I don't know, there's something about like being like in the dark with them that I know it's really heavy, but I think it's so important to just be there with them, and I really value it. You know, like you build relationships with these people, and to continue to work with them is just so beautiful. I also think the space, the family that's created here, the community that's here, the connection with the other people, and you know, being able to ask questions, and whether it be more related to therapy or, you know, just like asking someone how their weekend was. I think we've created a community and a family, and I think that's really important to want to show up somewhere, because not only you love the job, but you love the people that you're doing it with.
We have a space where we can collaborate with one another. I also really value a space where you can just kind of show up as you are. I've worked in more of that business field where, I don't know, I guess I experience an environment where you can just show up as you are, in that there's no like judgments about who you are. If you have your own thing going on in your world, like there's that understanding, which I really value. And there's that camaraderie feel where everybody, I think, like gets along really well with each other. I think what I like most about being a therapist is connecting with people on a deep level.
What I love most about being a therapist is just the aspect of connecting with people and learning about different cultures, learning about different walks of life, and really seeing clients grow and align with who they truly are.
My one hope for every client I work with is for them to become self-reliant, but also knowing when to reach out again, continuing on their path of healing and growth.
I hope that they will feel heard and feel safe.
That they'll break up with me? Yeah, that they get to a place where they feel like they don't need to come weekly, or they get to a place where therapy worked for them, or they feel like they have the resources for themselves. And I hope they kind of like find themselves in whatever they're looking for.